Welcome to the Yoga Method. Our class today is all about building resilience, but building resilience through perspective, because perspective is everything. When we learn how to see our struggles as an opportunity for building strength, when we can see our mistakes as masterclasses, when we can see obstacles as opportunities. Life challenges all of us in countless ways, and it's not about never failing or never falling. It's recognizing that every time we rise again, we're a little bit stronger and a little bit wiser. Our yoga mats provide the perfect laboratory for us to really build resilience in our minds, our bodies, and our spirits. We hope you enjoy this class. So come and join me at the right end of your mat when you're ready, or facing me, whatever your preference is. Big toes touching, heels slightly separated, and bringing hands to our heart center. Setting the intention of building resilience in our bodies and in our minds through the practice of yoga. Taking a full deep breath in to charge your intention. And on your exhalation, releasing your hands, opening your eyes. Please circle your arms high as you take a breath in. And on this first exhalation, bring your feet hip distance and catch the tops of your knees for support. Please pop your elbows there and take a moment to notice that your pelvis is lower than your shoulders before placing your right hand across your knees and your left hand into the curve of your lower back. Begin to stack your shoulders. And notice how your knees will want to buckle and shift, but you're going to continue to keep them pressing over your second and third toe. Only sending your left arm high if that feels good to your body. So grip with your feet, energize your legs, your core, your pelvic floor, and infusing the side of your body with your awareness, with your presence, with your breath. One more full deep breath in before gently releasing, and let's just come to second side. So right arm curve at the lower back, left forearm across your thighs, and begin to stack your shoulders any amount that your body will allow, using your core and using your arms to create the rotation. Only sending your right hand skywards if your shoulder is happy, and gazing to the tips of your right fingertips only if your neck allows. Taking 2 more breaths. Feel your feet. Feel the strength of your legs. Feel your determination as we take 1 more breath in. And on the out breath, catch both elbows to your thighs before pouring yourself into your forward fold. I'd like you to catch the opposing elbow, and I'm turning to face you for just a moment. And in our traditional ragdoll shape, we create a little bit of gentle movement to bring length through the side body. But I'd like for you to explore more of a full body ragdoll today. So listen, you're going to gently shift towards your right and then roll up ever so slowly, mindfully, and come down the left side of the body. So super slow, super mindfully. And if there's any sensation through your lower back, especially if you're feeling any catches, then I want you to use your hands on your thighs and your hips to support this exploration of movement. Reversing your direction once you've arrived safely. So move first to your left, slide up the left side of the body. A little circle overhead as you come down the right side. So just beautifully, slowly, mindfully, connecting with those places in your body where maybe we've lost a little bit of awareness. And hopefully just working out any kinks, any cobwebs. Pausing and holding in your stationary ragdoll as you deliberately release your head and shoulders. On your next in-breath, I'd like for you to bring your hands to your shins or your fingertips to your floor as you move to a flat back extension. And then ground your hands and step your right foot way back before you release through your right knee. Bring your hands to your left thigh for a moment, stacking ear, shoulder, and hip. And then let's bring hands to our heart center in prayer. Take a breath in together to really lengthen through your spine. And on the out breath, press your right hand forward, left hand back, taking a little bit of rotation. On your in-breath, come back to prayer. And on the out-breath, exploring a little revolution. One more time to come back to the midline. Before exhaling, right hand forward, left hand back, pausing. Return to center. Please pop both hands to the inside of your left foot. And then spin your left shin. I'm going to turn my back on you for a moment, sorry. So you're lengthening through your left leg. And you're going to place your left forearm on the floor, your right hand on the earth, and we're going to turn a little bit towards the right. So finding a beautiful stretch, I'm hoping, through your left inner seam. Just take 2 more breaths as you are. One more full deep breath in. And on your exhalation, you'll just meet me back at the right end of your mat or facing forward. On the in-breath, lifting through the back leg before stepping to the top of our mats and just exchanging to the other side. So once you've arrived there safely, hands to your thigh, stacking ear, shoulder, hip, and knee. Pelvis is level. Hands come to our hearts as we breathe in together. And then pushing left hand forward, right hand back on the out breath. Inhale to return to the midline, please. Use your core, use your hips to create the rotation. Gently returning, pausing once again. Last time, push your boundaries, your barriers away. And as we return back home for a moment, we place both hands to the inside, please. So you're spinning through your left leg, you're turning towards the long edge of your mat, and you'll press energetically into your right pinky toe. From there, right forearm to the earth, left hand just out to the side, and press into your right forearm to create a little rotation. At the same time, how strongly can you engage through your right leg? As we stay for 2 more breaths, please. One more full, deep, deep, deep breath in. And on your exhalation, looking down, helping ourselves all the way back to the top of the mat. Lift through your back leg, step your feet together as you lift and lengthen on the in-breath. Before exhaling into your forward fold. We're rising and reaching all the way up to extended mountain. Before circling the arms down and around to Samastitihi. On your in-breath, take your hands high. On your exhalation, pull your elbows wide and create a little bit of a backbend shape. On the in-breath, reach high again. And on your exhalation, easing our way into our forward fold. Breathe in, hands to shins or fingertips to floor, flat back extension. Before stepping your right foot way back and releasing your knee. Begin with your hands on your left thigh. And option 1, you could stay grounded. Variation 2, we're going to hover now. We bring our hands to our hearts regardless. And we take a breath in as we feel the levelness of our pelvis. And on the exhalation, right hand forward, left hand back. Inhaling to return to the midline. On your exhalation, pressing, pausing. Inhale one more time to come to heart center. And exhaling, finding that rotation. Come home for 1 breath in. And then circling our hands high, please open to your warrior 2 shape. So hip and knee is aligned, knees over ankle. We're checking that we can see our big toe on the inside of our left knee. Press really strongly into the pinky toe side of your right leg. Back hands ready. On our in-breath, we're going to circle it past the midline of the body. And on the exhalation, we pause. Front arm ready, circling past the midline of the body. On the exhalation, pause. One more time for the back arm. One more time with our front arm. And then please reach over your front knee, land your elbow, and take your right hand high. Descend through the pelvis, spiraling only to look to your top hand if it feels good to your body. Let's take 3 more breaths. For 2. 1 more full, deep, expansive breath in. And on the exhalation, we're going to lift the back heel, ground through our right hand before sending our left hand high instead. Is your knee above your ankle? Are you pressing energetically through your back leg? Taking 2 more breaths, gazing upwards if your neck will allow. 1 more full breath in. And on that exhalation, grounding through your hands, we are sliding to our first high plank, and we're lowering through chaturanga on our knees or our toes. We'll energize and open to a baby cobra or an upward facing dog before we make our way into our first downward facing dog. Please move any way that feels good to your body, but checking that your hands are shoulder distance, your feet are hip distance, and you're feeling the connection to your core to support your lower back. 1 more breath with a little bit of movement before finding our stillness. Take 1 in-breath here as we gaze between our feet or our knees. On the in-breath, lift to the tips of the toes. On the exhalation, bend your knees, look forward. Right foot stepping between as we land the left knee and bring our hands to our thigh. Level pelvis, hands to our heart. Grounded or elevated, it makes no difference. Take a breath in together. And on the exhalation, left hand forward, right hand back. Inhale back to your midline, please. Exhale, pushing, pressing, pausing. Returning home to center. 1 more time, belly strong, breath smooth and deep. And as we return to the midline, we'll pause before circling our arms down and around and opening to our warrior 2 shape. It doesn't matter how deep we come, but we are checking that our hip and knees in one line and our knee is right above our ankle. Our back leg, we're pressing energetically until we feel our left glute come alive. Our back arm circles down and around on the in-breath. Exhales to return. Front arm across the midline of the body. 2 more, please. 1 more. On our in-breath, we'll reach, we'll land, and only sending left arm high if it feels good. If your shoulder is not happy, just pop it on your hip. Gazing to the floor, to the side, or the top hand, please. Last 3 breaths. One more deep breath into the tips of your fingers. On the exhalation, left hand to the earth, lift your back heel. And once you're safely there, you'll send your right hand high. Please check your right knee is above your ankle. You're pressing into the 4 corners of your right foot. You're energizing your back leg. You're lifting the abdominal wall towards the spine. Taking 1 more full breath in. And on the exhalation, grounding through your hand. Slide to your high plank, traveling through your chaturanga on knees or toes, taking a baby cobra or an up dog if the body's ready, before lifting up and back, downward facing dog. Just 1 deep breath in together. On your in-breath, to the tips of your toes. On the out-breath, bend your knees, look at the end of your mat. Walking or hopping, we lift and lengthen as we breathe in. Exhale, let it all go. rising all the way up to your extended mountain before releasing your hands to your heart center. Shift all the weight to your right foot. Bring your right hand to your right hip and come to tree pose. So weight in the right, left toe on the floor for variation 1, variation 2 between the ankle and the knee joint, and variation 3 above the knee joint. Take a moment to find your stillness, and then bringing hands to prayer position, please. Feel the 4 corners of your right foot and really energize your standing leg, your standing glute, and your abdominals. And with your left foot, press into your thigh. Grow a little bit taller as you take 2 more breaths. 1 more, please. And on your next inhale, let your arms reach high, maybe even looking upwards if your balance will allow, before releasing your hands and releasing your leg. Shaking out anything that needs a little shake before taking all of your weight into your left foot. Grip with your toes, micro bend your knee. Place your hands on your pelvis for a moment. Right foot can stay on the earth. This is still tree pose. Variation 2, between the ankle and the knee. And variation 3, lifting that foot above the knee joint. Grip with your left foot. Energize your left quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, and your core. And when you feel stable, hands to prayer. Steady your eyes to steady your body. Can you smile at the same time? 1 more breath before sending your hands overhead, only lifting your eye gaze if you wish. Taking 1 more breath in before gently releasing the hands, releasing the foot, and return to your Samasthiti. Last time through our flow, we reach high on the in-breath. We pull the elbows wide on the out-breath. Inhaling to come long, straight, and strong before easing your way into your forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins or fingertips to floor, flat back extension. Before stepping your right leg way back, releasing your knee, hands to your thigh, and then hands to prayer. Option to stay grounded. Option to elevate. Level the pelvis. Take a breath in together. On the exhalation, press right hand forward, left hand back. On the in-breath, we return. Second round, only 1 more. Exhale, push, pause, hold, before returning to your midline, please. Circle and sweep before opening to your warrior 2. Taking your time to meticulously set up your posture, and then back arm circling down and around, exhaling to release. Front arm down and around past the midline of the body. Exhale to release. Last 2, back arm. Front arm. When you're ready, reach beyond your front knee. Get your elbow to your thigh. Or second round, take your ankle or the earth. Right hand high. Pressing that knee towards the pinky toe side, through the front leg, and through your back foot, super glue the outer edge of your foot to the earth. Keep breathing, keep expanding, keep building your resilience physically and mentally as you take 1 more full breath in. On your exhalation, come down, lift your back heel, send your left arm high instead. Option to keep our top arm as it is, or flip the thumb, coming into the curve of the lower back, creating a half bind. Knee above ankle, gripping with the toes, rolling through the heart, keeping your pelvis level with your back leg charging strongly. Last 2 breaths. On your inhalation, reaching high. On the out-breath, ground your hand and slide to your high plank. Listen. Right knee to the earth, spin to your shin. Come to side plank. This is variation 1. Variation 2, you'll split your stance, holding here. And variation 3, you'll take tree pose again, but in a side plank position. Stay and breathe for 3. Stay and breathe for 2. Definitely building resilience now. 1 more breath in. And on the exhalation, release your foot, release your hand, pause here. Pick up your right foot and bring your right knee to your right elbow. Stay for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Send that leg to a 3-legged downward facing dog. And then shift your weight forward back to your high plank, traveling through your chaturanga on knees or toes or in a 3-legged position. Energize and open to baby cobra or upward facing dog before lifting your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Breathing in, spreading fingers, spreading toes as we tuck the chin and look between our feet. Bend your knees as much as you need in your down dog, please. Just 1 more unified breath in and out. On the in-breath, we'll lift to the tips of our toes. On the out-breath, we'll bend our knees and look at the end of the mat. Right foot between our hands. Release your knee, hands to your thigh. And when the time is right, hands to prayer. Stay grounded or elevate the back leg. Breathe in together. Sending your left hand forward, right hand back, creating a little bit of a twist. Inhaling to return and pause. Only 2 this time. Left hand forward, right hand back before returning to your midline. Circle and sweep arms high before opening to your Virabhadrasana 2. Hip and knee check. Back leg is exactly as we need it to be. And then back arm down and around on the in-breath. Exhale to reset. Front arm. 2 more. 1 more. Reaching over your front leg, landing your elbow, taking your ankle, or finding the inside foot. Then sending your left arm high. Check your knee is right above your ankle before you turn to look to the front or to your top hand. Finding strength in the foundation of our feet and our right hand. Feeling more strength from the foundation of our core for 2 more breaths. 1 more, please. Before the exhalation has us grounding the left hand, bringing right hand to the thigh for a moment, or sending right hand high. Stay as you are, or flip the thumb, curve at the back. So we want to roll through our shoulders, but keep the pelvis level by really engaging our left glute and our left leg. Taking 2 more breaths as you are. 1 more breath in and out. On the in-breath, reach high. On the exhalation, grounding through that hand, slide to your high plank, please. Lower your left knee, spin your left shin, rolling to your left hand for variation 1. Variation 2, split your stance, shoulder right above the wrist. And variation 3, reconnecting to your version of tree pose, please. Finding breath, feeling your determination, your grittiness as we build resilience for 2 more breaths. 1 more breath in, and on the exhalation, roll to high plank. Pick up through your left leg, bring your left knee to your left elbow, or as close to it as you can. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, And for 1, a 3-legged downward facing dog before we ripple our way back to high plank and lowering through chaturanga on knees or toes or in a 3-legged position. We energize and open to baby cobra or our upward facing dog before we land our knees and celebrate our efforts in child's pose, please. Slide your arms down and around. Allow your shoulders to totally release. If the head is not comfortably resting on the floor, just make 2 fists, stack them, and let your forehead be supported by your hands instead. So in our yoga practice, we have something called the kleshas. So those are the mental barriers that we all face, the obstacles that our mind will throw up in order to really challenge our peace. They are ignorance, our ego, aversion, attachment, and clinging to our lives, or, of course, more eloquently put, maybe, just the natural fear of death. Taking one more breath as you breathe into your mind, creating clarity and peace and calmness. And when you are ready, reach your hands forward, please. Sending yourself back into your downward facing dog, if that feels comfortable for you. And we're moving into pigeon pose in a moment. So I'd like you to lift through your right leg, any amount that feels good to your body. We'll bend into our left knee for a moment and just create 3 or 4 really big hip circles, please. And then on that last one, pause to lengthen through your leg before you transition to pigeon pose, please. So pigeon pose traditionally looks a little bit like this, but sometimes that is just not comfortable. So this 90 degree option is absolutely pigeon as well. So please make the shape that feels best for your body, and then meet me on your forearms in your own time. So staying here, just really finding softness through the torso and allowing the position to really open the back of our right hip. And some of us will be feeling a little bit of stretch through our left hip flexor as well. Just take one more breath. And then I'd love for you to rise up onto your hands. And it doesn't matter if you're sitting on the side of your hip. We're moving towards a king pigeon. So if you are in a 90-90, you'll reach for your ankle, your shin. And this is absolutely king pigeon. It's the same shape. Variation 2, if you're in your more traditional pigeon pose, you might need to replace your right hand, and then you'll bend into your back leg. You begin by reaching for the inside of your left foot, and it's kinder to keep your torso open to begin with. So this is another stepping stone, another krama. If it feels like there's a little bit of space, your fingertips face to the sky, and then you're going to lift your elbow, spin your fingertips so that they're facing down your foot then. And then from there, just work the heel towards the hip, any amount that feels good to your body. From there, if it feels like there is space, you'll slide your right hand forward, releasing your head, releasing your efforts, and just finding really deep connection to the places where you're feeling the sensation. Last 3 breaths. For 2. ready, you'll push the earth away. You'll release through your back leg. Take a seat onto your right hip. And please bring your legs all the way around. Your feet are wider than your mat. You'll ground through your big toes. And then you'll hold on to your ankles. I'll turn to you for a second. So you'll bring your feet really wide. You'll hold on to your ankles for variation 1. Variation 2, you come underneath, hold your feet again. And then we're tucking our chin and we're really rolling through our spine in this shape. So finding flexion through our spine and really deliberately breathing into any tension we're feeling. Some of us will feel this just in our lower back, others maybe in the back of the pelvis. For some of us, this is an inner thigh and a hamstring stretch. So the gift of these postures is it can feel very different to each person, but wherever you're feeling it is wherever you need it. So breathing spaciousness for one more breath. On the in-breath, lifting through our heads, through our hearts. Time to build a little bit more resilience as we bring our feet in and our hands just slightly off to the side. We'll pick up our feet together as we take a breath in. And on our exhalation, we'll touch our toes to the earth. So variation 1, we float shins parallel to ceiling. And on the exhalation, we touch the toes to the earth. Variation 2, we inhale, shins to ceiling. And on the exhalation, we lower to our forearms and come to a boat canoe. Inhale back to your boat. Exhale to lower and lengthen. Inhaling to return. Exhaling, find your edge. Breathe in. We have 4 more like this. Breathe out, chest proud, belly strong. Inhale. Exhale. Last 2, hang in there with me. Inhaling in. Exhale, lengthen, strengthen, pause. One more time. In it together, in it together. Lengthen, strengthen, pause before releasing the feet to the earth. Take your legs out long, a celebratory Paschimottanasana as we ease our way forward. Bend your knees as much as you need, and I'd like you to anchor onto hamstrings, calves, or your feet. And then rather than drawing your heart forward, I'd like you to round your spine and really pull back. So think angry cat combined with Paschimottanasana, opening the entire back body from the base of the skull all the way down your spine to your pelvis, all the way down the back of the legs to the soles of your feet. Just one more breath. And then on your inhalation, lift your head, lift your heart. Maintain the length of the spine as we move into the traditional shape. Eye gaze on your big toes, shoulders relaxed, and breath remaining smooth and deep for 2 more breaths. On our inhalation, we'll lift our heads and our hearts. And on the out-breath, we sit tall. We need to come to our downward facing dog. So you might cross your ankles and roll over, or you are absolutely welcome to slide your legs around and transition that way. And only when the time is right for you, you'll begin to move into a 3-legged dog with your left leg rising a little or a lot. We'll bend into the top knee. We'll press it for a moment towards the right, stamping down through our left hand before we begin to circle 3 times through our left ball and socket hip joint. And after the 3rd, you'll lengthen once again, maximizing before transitioning to your version of pigeon on your left leg. So coming up and over into that more traditional shape, or bending your back leg and still finding the exact same sensation, but just a little kinder on perhaps your hip and knee. Wherever you are, once you've found the position that is perfect for you, we lower down to our forearms, or you're welcome to reach your arms long. So focus on rolling your right hip towards your left heel. And at the same time, as you breathe in, lengthen from the crown of the head, deliberately all the way down to your right toes. Three breaths remaining. And when the time is right for you, you'll slowly rise up. If you're sitting on your left hip, you'll just bend your right knee and reach for your right ankle to take that quadricep stretch. If you're staying in pigeon, reposition your left hand maybe to the inside of your left knee. Begin to bend into your right knee and reach for the inside of the foot to begin with. Turn your torso, and this is such a good stepping stone. We could stay here with the torso open. If we're squaring through the hips and the shoulders, we're going to flip the elbow high. So fingertips first start towards the ceiling. And then as the elbow comes high, we change the hand position so the fingertips are now pointing towards the floor. Square your shoulders, tuck your tailbone, lift through your heart. And then if you did on the first side, you'll slide down, reaching your left arm forward as you continue to draw your right heel towards your right hip. So feeling that beautiful glute stretch, piriformis stretch through our left back hip and through our right leg, quadricep, hip flexors, getting lots and lots of TLC. Last two breaths. And when you are ready, please release that back leg. Crawl up onto your hands. And if you're not already sitting on your left hip, take a seat. Bring your legs all the way around. Bring them wide one more time, just to hold on to the knees for a moment as we lift through our hearts. And then please place your right foot in the middle of the mat. Your left foot on top. So I can definitely face you. So right foot in the middle of your mat, left foot on top. Variation 1, hands behind you. Variation 2, you'll hold onto your knees. Variation 3, you'll thread underneath. Hold your feet with your hands. And then we all gently bow our chin in, and we're moving our forehead towards our feet any amount. Where do you feel this? And does it feel good to your body? Can you breathe more fully and deeply? And during our yoga practice, even these moments of stillness will definitely sometimes challenge our resilience. The urge to get out of a posture, the urge to avoid the sensation it is creating. But it's in these moments where we really do build our mental fortitude and our resilience. Taking one more breath before you lift through your head. Gently ease your way out of the shape you took, grounding through your feet, coming into your boat pose. One last time. Variation 1, our hands will stay here. Variation 2, we'll reach the hands forward. And then from there, the toes can stay on the earth, or we can bring the shins parallel. Beautiful crew, I'd like you to bring your hands to your heart center. On your in-breath, reach high. On your exhale, pull your elbows wide. Inhale to reach up, and then hands and feet back to the center. So breathe in, shins parallel perhaps. Exhale to pull the elbows wide. Inhale to reach high. Exhale to release. One more little challenge if you wish. So we could lengthen the legs as the hands reach. We could come parallel as the elbows pull wide. We could lengthen the legs again as the hands reach. And then everything to the heart and to the floor. Last time. Whatever option you're choosing is perfect. Inhale to reach to rise before gently releasing the hands, releasing our feet. You're placing your left foot in the middle of the mat, right foot on top. Option 1, hands behind us. This might be all you need. Variation 2, hold your knees, pull yourself forward. Variation 3, hands underneath, threading under. Hold your feet, tuck your chin, and gently draw yourself in. Breathing into the mind, affirming how blessed we are to have this mind, this body, and the spirit. Letting go of ignorance, letting go of our ego, letting go of aversion, letting go of attachment, and letting go our fear of death, which normally means this clinging to our physical body. To seeing the body as a vessel, a temple that houses the highest version of you. And on your next in-breath, lift your heads, lift your hearts, ease your way out, bring your feet to the earth, hold onto your hamstrings, and please ease your way down. Oops, except for the microphone is underneath me. In your bridge today, I'd like you to bring your feet wider than we normally do. So your toes are slightly turned out, your hips and knees are open, but you're still going to touch your heels to make sure your feet are equal. And then tuck through your tailbone, energize your feet, your hamstrings, your glutes. And please start with your hands on your pelvis. Why? Because I want you to feel that your pelvis is level, okay? Does it feel level? And then slide your hands to your own bottom. You're allowed to feel your own bottom to see if your glutes are working. So most of the time we have one glute max that's a little bit weaker or lazier than the other. So are your glute muscles working equally on both sides? So we want our pelvis level and we want our hip stabilizers working equally. My right side's my lazy side, so I need to push a little bit more through my right foot to get it working as much. And then when you are happy with what you have felt, you'll interlace your fingers, you'll deliberately walk your shoulder blades in, and then re-feel your feet, your hamstrings, your glutes, your core. Pinky fingers to the earth, knuckles reaching for your heels. Taking 3 more breaths. For 2. One more. Before you release your hands first. And gently, gently peel your way down one vertebra at a time. Once your tailbone has landed safely, please gather your knees to your chest. And I'd like for you to separate your knees wide. So taking a moment just in a modified happy baby pose. And then I'd like for you to lift your head and your shoulders. Take your peace fingers to reach for your big toes. Settle your head back to the earth. Make sure your forearms, your elbows are on the inside of your thighs. And then from there, we could stay exactly as we are if we're feeling a good inner thigh stretch. Or begin to explore really opening a little bit more through the inner seam of the leg. So your toes are facing the earth, your heels are pressing energetically. You're engaging the front thigh muscles to help extend your knees. But the back of our body is soft. The back of the torso is relaxed. Just take 2 more breaths. And then from here, however far your hamstrings will allow, you'll begin to work your feet towards each other. So your thighs might be close to your face, or you might need to release your big toes and just hold on to your hamstrings here. So however it looks, again, celebrating our bodies and not resisting what is, but embracing this moment for 2 more breaths. And it doesn't matter if you're holding your hamstrings or your toes. I'd like for you just to bend your left knee and ground your left foot. And then perhaps sliding your left leg long. So holding your hamstrings, your calf, or right peace fingers to your right big toe. Really feeling this beautiful opening coming into our right hamstring. And energetically reaching through our left leg to open the front of our left hip. Just one more breath as you are. And then ease your left leg back, holding onto your hamstring, your calf, or peace fingers to your big toe. Begin by bending your right knee, grounding your right foot. And then just curiosity, ask your body, do you want to lengthen through that right leg or not? And then breathing this peacefulness, this calmness through the body, even though there's still a little bit of effort. Can we learn how to be calm? Can we learn how to remain centered, even when things get challenging, even when obstacles arise? Taking 2 more breaths. And when you are ready, allowing your right leg to lift back before bending both knees, please. Just moving into our twists. We'll ground through our feet. And I'd like for your feet and knees to be together, taking a cactus shape with your arms. Your pelvis will shift slightly to your left, and your knees will gently move to your right. And you're taking any option that feels really wonderful to your body. So your top leg could stay as it is. You could slide it ahead. You could lengthen through your top leg. Whatever feels best to your body today. Your heart is open, your shoulders are anchored, and you're either looking to the ceiling or turning to look to the left. Close your eyes. Bless your own body with gratitude. I love my body. I love my mind. I love my spirit. I love my body. I love my mind. I love my spirit. Grateful for this life, for this day. Returning your eye gaze, releasing your twist, or shifting your pelvis slightly to the right and allowing your knees to travel to the left. Stay exactly as you are, or slide your top leg ahead, lengthen your top leg. Whatever is speaking to you in this moment. gazing skywards or looking to your right. Just feeling how equal your shoulders are as you breathe more deliberately into the right side of your torso, the right side of your lower back. Letting go of our ignorance, letting go of our egos, letting go of our attachments, our aversions, and this clinging to this physical body. Honoring it, celebrating it, practicing gratitude for it. One more breath before returning to the midline. Please gather your knees to your hearts one last time. Hugging knees to our hearts as we gently, gently rock the body just for a moment. And when you and your body feel ready, we'll just take a few moments in our Savasana. If your back is sore at all, you'll keep your knees bent, knees together, feet wide. But if your body will allow, please just claim a little bit of space with your feet as your feet fall open, palms to the ceiling, to the sky, ready to receive. But if your system is still feeling a little bit wired, I'd love for you to turn your palms down so you feel more grounded. Silently, internally, I would love for you to affirm 3 times. Perspective is everything. Perspective is everything. Perspective is everything. Can I see my struggle on or off my mat as an opportunity to strengthen? Can I view obstacles as opportunities? Obstacles make me stronger. Can I view my mistakes as master classes? And can I recognize that pain, uncertainty, and hard work is something that I will never be exonerated from? And therefore, can I learn to embrace them? Knowing that that is how I can build resilience in my mind and my body and my spirit. Perspective is everything. With your eyes remaining closed, I would love for you to stay just for a few more breaths. And when you and your body decide the time is right, inviting gentle, mindful movement back into the body as we remain centered within our own space, bringing movement to our fingers, to our toes, to our pelvis, to our shoulders, to our necks, And only if your body will allow, taking a full big body yawn from fingertip to toe with your arms reaching overhead. You'll slide your arms down and around. You'll bend your knees one at a time. You'll gather your knees to your hearts. Hug yourselves lovingly. And then rocking your bodies very gently before rolling normally to the right hand side, but whatever side is most convenient for you. Pause for one smooth, deep, resilient, full breath before rising to a seated position, please. Coming into any position that feels comfortable for you with your eyes remaining closed just for a moment longer. Our hands will rise to our heart center. We'll feel the beauty of our own determination, our own dedication, and our own devotion to ourselves, to the world around us. Connected by our yoga practice. From my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you, beautiful crew. I hope you enjoyed this practice, and I look forward to seeing you soon.